Alright, you probably noticed on Schoology, I did post the code for part 3. It takes a little bit of explaining, but we'll figure it out. Nothing new as far as the top zone goes. This is kind of the exact same code you wrote for part 2 and part 1B, I believe, of the Paper Towel Lab. Task main is the same, the bracket's the same, the while is the same, its bracket's the same. It's the exact same code we used for part 2, the until light, so the hand wave sets it. Here's the new stuff. We want to have our machine dispense 3 lengths of paper to line A, to line B, and to line C. So it's 3 options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to code it in a way so that, we could just set up some stuff here, so that if our potentiometer, that little dial we're using, if it's set to a value less than 100, it'll run the code to dispense to line A. So your motor speeds and your motor names, you plug those in. If the potentiometer is set to a value more than 100 and less than this value, it'll run this motor speed and wait time. So you got to figure that out to go to line B. And finally, if the sensor value is bigger than this, it runs for C. So this code you already have. You wrote it for part 2, so you have it. So plug that code as far as motor name, motor speed, wait time. That is what you already have. That works. Here we got to figure out, do we need slower motor? Wait, sorry, for B is shorter. Faster motor or less time. And C, the shortest length, either faster or shorter, you pick. So we have 3 options, short, medium, or long. This code here, if you type it in, and then parentheses, sensor value, you type it in, it's a square bracket. I wrote some spaces in there, I'll just do that. It's confusing then. So if sensor value, plug in your name, your potentiometer there. Here too, let me fix this before I forget. That way it won't look so confusing on the copy. Plug. Take note here, double parentheses, so saying if this and this, and then here. Okay. And then finally, when it's all done, this bump resets it to loop back around, up top again, and run again and again and again. Here's the actual code on the Robot C software. So here I named my potentiometer, that little dial. The hand motion sensor I call hand. My reset button I call click. The motor is called dirt. It's got task main, bracket, while, bracket, until light. And then here's my note to myself. So if I'm set less than 100, it runs this combo. This won't work for line A, it's just an example. If it's between these numbers, it runs for line B. And then here it runs for line C. I click back to top again. So I download the robot. I want to kind of watch along on my numbers as I program it here. Let me shrink the screen down. It's good so you can see it. And make it fit. Okay. I went up to the robot option and pick debugger and pick sensors. Down here I can see my push button switch shows a 0. I hold the button in, it turns to a 1, let it go, 0. So it's reading that button. Line follower, that's the hand motion sensor. This is what it's reading. I cover it dips down, uncover it, dips up again. Potentiometer, that's my little dial. I turn it one direction, it's going to turn all the way down to 0. Other direction, it's going to turn all the way up to full. So I can turn my dial and have it set to a certain setting. I'll start the program. So I'm going to go to this first program here. So I'm going to have it less than 100. So I watch along here. I'm going to turn it to less than 100. that is. So when I run my program, it'll run this program, and it jumps to the bottom of the program. So it runs that, jumps to the bottom. I'll click it, resets it. So it'll run that length of paper as long as it's set at that setting. Okay? I'm going to switch it to now a number of between these values. I'm going to go just above 100 a little bit. Okay? Now I hit the sensor value, it's going to run the middle set of code. Watch here. So it runs. This is the way, isn't it? Get out of there. Try it again. Bump it and run it. So it's running for part B. See that run B's ran. And if I go to a number more than 3,500, it'll run C. So crank it all the way up and run it. Now it's running C. Reset C. Okay, switch it back to A if I want. Reset it. It runs A. Then go to B. Reset it. It runs B. And then go all the way up to C and run it again. So there's the code. And the code is also here. Same thing. Okay. Can you fill in the blanks as far as the code goes? And any questions, definitely want to ask. Hey, good luck.